Author James Patterson came very close to whistleblowing on the entire publishing industry the other day. It was extremely exciting. I was watching it. I was about to see waves and ripples as this entire awful identity politics woke establishment was about to crumble. Much like when Brandon Sanderson made his $42+ million Kickstarter, you could see them quaking in their boots. They were realizing this whole system we set up of clout and middlemen and nonsense is all about to crumble because now authors can do what they want without us interfering. Unfortunately, James Patterson is not a brave guy. It's unfortunate, but we'll get into that in just a second. All right, my name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator, and I've got Overmind on Kickstarter right now. As you can see, we're approaching $20,000. We're doing everything right. We are pushing awesome, fun stories just the way you used to have them in comics. I've also got a novel. If you're a novel reader, there's a novel attached to this also. We're doing a multimedia experience with these characters, the most ambitious artistic thing we've done to date. And we're going to keep going. We're very creative people here at the JDA channel, and I hope you'll check it out and support the channel. Really, I can't state enough how great this comic's going to be, and I really, really would appreciate it if you go click that link in the description below and back a change in culture today. All right, here is the news from Bounding Into Comics, of which I write. It's nice. I get to cover my own articles while I make videos. That's pretty cool. Not many people can say that. James Patterson apologizes for claiming older white males can't get writing jobs due to racism. That's right. He made that statement in an interview, and then he came back and apologized once, of course, the blowback from the industry came at him. What's that all about? He asked, "Can you get a job?" Yes. Is it harder? Yes. Is it even harder for older writers? You don't meet many 52-year-old white males. Yes. So it is how it works with James Patterson, and he rightly said that older white males are discriminated against in the industry. Younger white males are too, to be honest, and they justify it with these weird demographic charts. Penguin Random House actually made this whole internal audit about what they did, and they showed that 74% of their works were done by white people. Now that's in line with the census demographics from 2010. And by 2020, white people made up 61% of the population. So white people declined by 13%, mainly due to birth rates and immigration. And that, if you look at the publishing industry, if it's 74%, and this is again 3 years ago, those projects take years sometimes. And so it was in line with what it was. It's almost a perfect statistical look at things, except for one thing. And I'm going to get into that because it proves James Patterson right here. So this is what they said. Here it is, the BIPOC. Here it is, 23%. Oh no, we need to do better. Oh, look at the overrepresentation here from LGBTQ. These are, maybe 5% of the population, and yet 16% of what's written. That's 3 times what they should be. And that seems to be a trend here. And this is where it gets really weird. If you look at the gender identity here, you've got 61% women and 3 transgender, whatever these are, whatever, and 34% men. If it was, it's about 50-50 in society, so that's really, really a lot of overrepresentation of women. Very bizarre. So if you look at it, and you look at the overrepresentation of women, and white women in particular, because of that, you're seeing that white men are actually the most underrepresented group as a percentage of any group out there. It's kind of crazy. And so James Patterson was 100% right. Now, of course, when the Washington Post reported this, they lied about it and just went 75% white people when white people are only 61% of the population. Now, this is nonsense as it is. Obviously, a publisher shouldn't choose a manuscript or a work based on somebody's race or their identity or their who they're banging. It doesn't make any sense that any publisher would do that. That's a horrible thing. That is racism or sexism or whateverism by itself. But if you are going to play that game, you notice that these guys are never honest about anything, ever. Minorities are vastly preferred. Women are vastly preferred in the publishing industry. And they don't look at quality. They do look at identity. That's why they do studies like this sort of thing. So James Patterson was 100% right, and he was whistleblowing, blowing the doors off of things until, unfortunately, he cucked, my friends.
I apologize for saying white male writers having trouble finding work is a form of racism.
It is 100% a form of racism.
I absolutely do not believe that racism is practiced against white writers.
It is.
Please know that I am strongly support diversity of voices being heard in Hollywood, in literature, everywhere.
Yeah, you don't. Because people like me are blacklisted because I speak out against this stuff, James Patterson. And that's actually what even though you're 75, like you're still scared of losing that clout at the end of the day. Some great writers were talking about this. I loved David V. Stewart's take in particular. David is a wonderful writer in his own right. And here it is. He's a great YouTuber too. You should check out his channel. Number one, the forced apology lets us know the original statement is 100% factual. Yes. Two, apologizing signals that the mob that they were right and try to double down. Signals to the mob that they were right and try to double down. Yep. Three, one can suck every girl cock in the world, and it won't make up for this crime of being white male. You will never be forgiven. That's right. That's kind of how it goes with SJWs. And he continues. 4, he can make more money without a publisher, especially in this stage of his career, but his approval matters more. And 5, when he's canceled anyway, people will remember his gutless cucking. That's the thing. When you make something like this, you're screwed anyway, James Patterson. And you don't understand this because you don't understand cancel culture because you're a leftist shill like everybody else in the industry. But they never forgive you. And so you're toast anyway. You made the unholy comment. That's the truth. You told the truth. That can't be told to the masses. They can't allow that with their narrative. And so despite the fact that you apologize, and because of your identity, you're never going to get anywhere with this stuff anyway. So it's interesting to watch how this always goes 100% of the time. I always say never, ever apologize to SJWs for telling the truth. You should always just stand your ground. They're going to try to cancel you anyway. They are terrible people who just want division and disgusting identity politics just shoved into every aspect of our society, and it needs to stop. We need great stories again. We need stories that don't focus on this kind of stuff, and that's why I'm doing it, my friends. That's exactly what our movement's all about, and I'm glad you're here with me, and I hope we'll keep growing so we can get rid of these cuck losers who are ruining everything we love. All right, leave a comment down below, hit that like and subscribe button, let me know what you think about this, and we'll be back soon.